I'm that girl who was born with no accessories. We're not like Barbie, right? We don't come with a whole bunch of random bullshit nonsense that comes with us when we're born. We come with self. Thank goodness we're connected into our high dimensional beings as we are living our lives in best 3D way that we can, right? Not fake, definitely not plastic, and definitely real. It feels very real, doesn't it? These lifetimes, as we feel our skin and our bodies, and as we feel the range of emotions that this life living gives us to offer us to experience with, right? So it's all very significant and purposeful, everything that we feel as we're connecting in with each other, maybe having some conflict, but always with the purpose of trying to empower ourselves, empower others with love. It's all about love. It's all the key, the key, the key, the key. And because when we remember we are actually multidimensional beings who are so advanced in their dimensions and their perspectives, they don't have these silly, redundant things like emotions because it's too distracting. While they love the frequency of love, and they have all this great connections, and they're very community based and honor each other and self and really focus as a true big mind hive mind connection, great connection with their unities, great connections with their communities, great collections with their collectives. And while other collectives are still on their path and journey to discover how to be a higher dimensional being with love and integrity, we have 3D lives for very interesting experiences. So this is why we forget who we are, and we come here to explore and kick around in the range of emotions. Now, we don't need tools to empower ourselves. Our mindsets are the most powerful thing that we have. And they want me to prompt to remind you all with great love that it's significant you did not come with any accessories. You don't need them. You don't need any tools to be able to explore the range of emotions that you need to have to learn to empower yourself to grow back in with love. Simple, right? But many of us are saying, take my money, do my inner work, help me, keep me high vibrational. I'm not going to think about any of my range of emotions. I'm not going to be responsible for any of my actions or behaviors or consequences or lack of. I just want tools that I can pay for, whether it's a guru, an influencer, crystals, fancy pants, like the list is endless in the spirituality world that could give us the belief system that we've got protection or spirituality or a cloak of ego for spirituality or whatever, right? So I invite you all to look at your behaviors, your routines, and what you use and what you think you still need to be able to go within, to be able to connect in with your teams and to truly connect into love source energy. Once again, to remind yourself of the things you're still stuck on, hung up about, cannot forgive, cannot let go, and to be able to see everything as self-empowerment and to be able to find your balance and neutrality back towards yourself, to go back towards one. Fun times, right? So thinking about it, obviously the body needs tools like water and substance, but your mindsets and your spirituality really doesn't. But if you need those stepping stones to feel you're safe, then people buy things to feel safe, but it's really an illusion. And again, you are disempowering your own protection, your own faith, your own trust by giving it to something else. And I've had many conversations recently with people who are still doing things out of routine, and they sort of go, yeah, why am I still saging? Why am I still, I know that it doesn't do anything. I know that I'm always protected by my high dimensional selves. I know I've got great power. I've got great perspective. I've got great insight into intuition. But why am I still doing some things? And as we think about, why do we still do those things? It is because that's how we started on our journey. Someone told us, oh, you must do this. You must do this. You must do that. You must do this. You must buy this. and it happens to be that I sell them. It's amazing, isn't it? And so you've been hustled for lots of your spirituality experiences. While it is very true that in other cultures and other lifetimes, that was very helpful for lots of other reasons, medicinal reasons, here in 2022, it's not exactly the same. So we've got stuck in quite a lot of routines that we have assumed work for us. Lots of my clients who have regressions, who have been very successful, very important influencers in past, they did do things that actually did help them, rituals and a whole lot of stuff that actually was of service, because it was pure, it had great integrity and intentions, but because it was coming from self. And so they were empowering things, plus they had the connections of the elements, the water, earth, the air, all of the natural elements were working with them. Again, different times, my friends, different times. And so if you're trying to harness the energy of the planet or something, please remember how powerful you are. You are more powerful than a stone on this planet. You are more powerful than an element or a tool in this planet. You have to remember and know thyself. And I know lots of people are getting wrung and squished out because of all this density to purge you, to force you to let go of lots of trauma that you don't recognize as part of your soul experience and journey that you need to experience this lifetime. Many people who unfortunately haven't got around to doing their inner work are finding themselves under great pressure and stress and feeling very overwhelmed. And it will look like a whole bunch of maybe ascension symptoms, maybe illnesses, a whole lot of stuff that we're not able to put our conscious mind fingertip on. So we just think, oh, what is this impacting me? How is this impacting me? What's really going on here? What's the message? And so this is why I say again and again and again that channeling your own information is always going to be the higher perspective for you to be able to understand the truth of what's going on. So when we run to gurus and pay them money, or even just trust other people, we're really, again, ignoring our own intuition, our own senses, our own connections. And the teams are saying, we're fucking free. That's true, isn't it? They are free. And they're saying, well, they're very passionate today, aren't they? They're very, very passionate because they're saying you're so distracted still with these routines and these tools, and that is disempowering you still. Because when we actually look at what we're doing to ourselves and why, we're still putting faith and trust and belief systems and other things that are not ourselves, and other things that are not our high dimensional beings, our guides who love us and trying to empower us every step of the way. But we use our free will to be like, oh, I can't do anything. I'm not connected. I don't. So I've never seen an alien. I don't see anything. I don't get any senses. I've tried to talk to my teams, but they ignore me. So I must buy tools and I must buy things. Now, I honestly do respect every stepping stone, but for those people who are still using tarot cards, for example, I mean, it's beautiful, the artwork is always beautiful. But again, this is just to give you the confidence to speak your truth and intuition. And so, what are we still using as a form of confidence to be able to share our truth? And this is a very big one, isn't it? While tarot cards can have a really great significance and purpose and be really good, and it can prove to the clients, look, I'm not bullshit. I'm not creating stuff out of my intuition. Here it is. Here's a picture I can show you. And that helps a client, again, trust that what you're saying to them, is valuable. But again, it's your own opinion. And so I say to everyone, when you can start learning how to channel for yourself high dimensional beings, pretty pictures and other people's intuitions is wonderful, and we can respect it and love it for that guidance and those stepping stones. But we must all be very diligent and honest with ourselves and connect in with ourselves and build the relationship of our own true intuition. We must do enough of our own inner work to make sure we're not just feeling into the intuition of guilty conscience and then projecting that out and feeling and reading everyone else as being guilty or bad or blah, 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 blah. We have to come from a really high perspective of metaphysical reasonings of why people are experiencing hardship. And I know lots of people would try and give people advice of, oh, that relationship sucks, you're not feeling loved, oh, get out of that relationship, girl, run for the hills, you could do better than him, there's plenty of fish in the sea, blah, 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 blah. That would sound like that's a solid advice. From an ego perspective, a metaphysical perspective is, if you don't feel loved in your relationship, do you even love yourself to start off with? Could it be said that the challenges that you have in your relationship where you don't feel loved is an opportunity for you to start loving yourself? And once you start loving yourself, they don't need to be those prickly cactuses, those rocks pushing you to love yourself. Once you learn how to love yourself, then their role of pushing you to love yourself more than anybody else and expecting anything else from others, it's all about coming and being self-sufficient, to be of then self-service, to be able to then support others, because you've truly empowered yourself, because you've unblocked and unlocked all of the things that are limiting you to give you a higher perspective. So once you start learning how to love yourself, you're not thirsty and frustrated that prickly cactus is not loving you. Because as soon as you start loving yourself, then you're not needy and angry and resentful and keep pushing negativity towards them, because you haven't started doing your love for self. And so once you start loving yourself and you're not frustrated and you can forgive that person, because you don't need love from others, you just need to build it within you. And once you build it within you, then you realize others do love you. They have their own love language. They are supporting you, to push you, to help you grow. Tough love is still love, but with beautiful lessons when we notice them. So very exciting. So are we still using people as tools? I mean, that's a very interesting one too. Are we still relying on other people's information and perspectives to help us grow? We are allowed to have stepping stones on our journey. We can't just be sort of, an island. But again, if you are still just listening to other people to grow and not starting to apply it to your own way of life and your own living, then it's kind of worthless at the same time, isn't it? It's sort of like not spending your money. I don't know where that came from. The illusion of having a financial safety when you put money in the bank. But the bank system is very interesting, my friends, if you haven't discovered that already. And they're saying even people who have bought property and have property outright, there is a movement of governments taking that property for whatever reasons. And so it is all to make us feel unstable and insecure, and to make us feel like we are less than significant and important. And so this is why we have to be so self-centered in terms of balance of emotions and not being triggered. And if there is anything that is happening that is triggering us, look for the lessons, look for the significances. Remember, we don't own anything. We come into this world butt naked, and we shall leave gracefully with our crystalline bodies. That is fantastic. But on our journey, see what we feel is owning us. Because often when we have lots of clutter and lots of property that we own, sometimes that limits us from living, just like our perspectives. When we're so afraid of death, we cannot live and seize the day in the moments, because we're afraid of what happens next, until you have that metaphysical and spiritual maturity to be okay with all the life lessons and experiences and the many lifetimes that you have. And so there is so much trauma being purged out of people as the energy is ramping up more. The energy will continually ramp up. It will not just go away for a holiday. It is significant. Those people who keep warning you that there's big energy coming, brace yourself, they need to focus on how to remind you to empower yourself, to get your balance, to get your neutral, to see your to see everything from a metaphysical, spiritual perspective, to be able to have true balance rather than, oh my gosh, energy is coming. Oh no, oh, it's a big one this time. Yeah, okay, so you're becoming obsessed with energy. That is interesting and you'll feel it. But for those people who do not struggle with big energy coming through, it's because they don't have any density that they're purging. And they love high frequency energy. They relish in it, actually. And so they're working hard to release everything that no longer serves them, which is a lot of baggage and trauma and density and lack of perspectives of love, which is holding them down and cluttering them. And so we want to remove anything that is still hurting us, that we can't let go, that we may be emotionally looping. It could be our childhood. It could be a whole lot of things that have happened, failed relationships, friendships that are lost. Whatever you are still hurt about, this is the time to look at it and see, did I really want that career? Did I really want that boyfriend? Blah, 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 blah. Really question and explore it, because you are mature now. You have a bigger perspective of things now. So how are you unpacking all the life experiences? We've had so much hardship to force us for empowerment. Are we noticing that yet? Are we loving all of those hard lessons that have pushed us, kicking and screaming, into self-empowerment? It's very challenging, and it can be very hard and sometimes very demotivating. But when we get the clues and we understand the significances of purposes to trigger us to find some weaknesses, I don't like that word. So we'll get triggered. Every time we get triggered, it is showing us parts of us that still need to grow and be strengthened. That's a better way to say it, isn't it? Because why we love the things that we're really naturally good at, and we've got lots of strength in it, and we're really proud of ourselves with this certain stuff, I don't necessarily want to go back and look at the things we're not so strong at. And practice makes perfect. And once you realize how easy it is to overcome some traumas, and see things from the bigger perspective, this gets many people very excited, because then they are very brave to face their old fears, face their old hurts, and unpack them at a rapid speed. Think about a very happy child at Christmas morning ripping open all of their packages, and every range of emotions and every hardship and challenging experience is a gift for you to have unpacked. And every note from Santa, every note from your parents, and every note from the universe giving you that gift is saying, find yourself, find love, and empower yourself to learn from this experience. They don't come with instructions, those big challenging experiences, but chances are you gave yourself that gift as you were planning your life contract to be here now in this fantastic experience of Earth. Fun times. So with much love, see if there is anything that no longer serves you in terms of your tools that is distracting you from realizing you're very capable. You're more powerful than you remember. And when you start truly loving and supporting yourself, you're very capable of everything, including protection, including love, support, all of the fantastic range of emotions that you've been seeking out from others. It's very capable to give it within. Much love to you all, but I know that you can give much love to yourselves. That's probably the best love of all, apart from Source, and we're all parts of Source, so so convoluted. I love it. Bye everyone, much love.